Hey, everybody, welcome to the Horror Syndicate Up All Night, which we do generally every Friday. We also have the Horror Syndicate Discourse. We also have Supernatural Syndicate. So we've got a few shows. The Horror Syndicate will be back on Wednesday with our top 25 of 2022. So that'll be a fun show. We've got categories and all kinds of different crap that we're going to talk about, including our own personal top tens because they all differ because we all like the movies differently. So that'll be a fun show. You might want to stick around or come back or whatever to talk about some of the movies. And there's a lot of them that I don't think many people saw because of streaming sites like Shudder. I know that I'm up to 58 different horror films from 2022, and a good chunk of them are from Shutter. So I have to get the percentage, but I'm almost certain it's got to be close to 50% of those 58. But anyway, I want to just remind everybody we are on Facebook. A lot of activity on Facebook. We go Facebook Live for the show when we do the shows, all three of them, and like Facebook, like we're getting closer and closer to 24,000 likes, followers, whatever you want to call. And then I'd like to get to 25,000 soon. And then if you're watching on YouTube and this is your first time, please subscribe. And yes, I have to do that at the beginning. I might do it again at the end. I don't know. We'll see. But that's all the hoopla you're going to get from me about, well, not for now. Anyway, tonight we are, well, for now it's just me. Seth may be along at some point. I'm not sure, but I do have his slash score. So we are talking about the Friday the 13th. I think for a long time, this one was the kind of the black sheep of the bunch. Imposter Jason. Nobody really cared for Roy. I love it, actually. And I was one of those who didn't like this one for a long time. By the way, I've never done a show by myself, so this shit could be fun. We did get Jason in a couple dream sequences. Tommy Jarvis freaking out a little bit. And that's, I like Roy's mask, how it differs. We got a great couple of people in Junior and Ethel, I think, are hilarious. I mean, she calls him a dildo and tells him he's ugly and shut the fuck up and all kinds of good stuff. And, I like Roy. He's got kind of the Michael Myers look with the outfit, and then there's his own personal hockey mask. But overall, I like Roy, and I like where the movie like wants to go at the end. We do have some. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Also, don't forget to share this out. We do have some comments from Sean Sheridan, who probably won't be able to watch this live. I took a little bit of time getting everything. I was waiting for Seth. I'm not sure. I hope he's okay. Anyway, I'll read along the comments, and this might be a short show if it's just me, and I'll tell you how I feel about the movie, and I'll give the scores. I won't be here long. I hate part five for Ethel and Junior, the mute lead, and Tommy. The whole copycat thing with Roy is a dog shit story to me. Plus, the fact the movie gets started over a chocolate bar. Brilliant. Yeah, I like that actually. Uh, Plus, the normal Friday tropes: bad characters, bad acting, bad grammar, few good kills, but story or substance for me, not a fan. There is some story and substance in this one. I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. Alex, you're here. There's a few people watching. Let me know what you think of part eight. What did you think of Imposter, or part five? I'm sorry, Imposter Jason. What did you think? I'd like to know. I love part four and I like part six. The remake and Freddy versus Jason for Freddy. I will probably never watch the rest again. Fair enough. Um, so I was like a lot of people. I didn't like this movie, and I believe I used to skip it. Like I remember buying the well, first of all, I think the first I ever had on VHS was Jason Goes to Hell because it came out right when I was 13, 14, and I started buying VHSs. When I was 16, I got my first paycheck for my first job, and I went straight to the mall, and they're having I think it was a 4 for 20 sale on all their horror movies. So I bought everything I could at the time, which was all 8 Paramount Friday the 13th movies. So I had all 9 at that point. and I don't remember if I had seen part five, but I watched it, and I, like a lot of people said, oh, there's no Jason, fuck this, and I kind of skipped over it when I do my massive watch throughs, unless I felt like watching a crappy movie with a lot of boobs. And you get, anybody who's been watching the show knows how much I love boobs. I got to turn the volume down. Sorry about that. I got five on it. But and I mean, they hired a sleazy director to direct this movie, and I mean, this is probably the sleaziest of all. And it's funny because you go from the movie that shows the most boobs, which there's all shapes and sizes, and it's wonderful, to the movie that doesn't show any at all. Which, of course, there's the whole Darcy DeMoss debacle where she was going to be in the Pamela Sue Voorhees role, in the woods, eye gouged with the bolt cutters or whatever it is, and or not hedge trimmer, I don't remember. Anyway, but there's also a lot of things in this one that made the cutting room floor, like Violet's death. Had to be different because they, like Roy shoved something up her little coochie, and they just stabbed her up against the wall, which she did, was listening to a pretty rad song, His Eyes by Pseudo Echo. Great freaking song. I love it. But this one did disappoint me for a long time. But over time, this is like the Halloween 3 of the Friday the 13th movies, in my opinion, where you've got a movie that nobody seems to like, but people are coming around to it. I think I'm seeing that a lot. I've been deep in the horror community since 2016 when I started the Horror Syndicate, and I'm starting to really see people coming around and seeing more people talk about how much they like this movie. I believe one of the guys over at Death Curse Society, this might be his favorite. I know he's got a really nice replica mask of Roy's mask, but watching it as an adult, I like it a lot more. And I don't want to sound like a douchebag by saying watching it as an adult, but 2, 3, and 4, it was formula, all formula. Jason stalks the teens and kills them. This one's different. It's different, kind of similar to the first movie where it's a whodunit, but yeah, sure, it's a chocolate bar to set somebody off. My biggest question about that actually would be, why is Roy knows who his son is? Why in the hell is he in the home and not, like taking care of his son? That kind of always struck me as odd. But Roy is essentially set off because his son Joey was killed by Vic. Mark Venturini, I think that was his name, who was also Suicide in Return of the Living Dead. Also, there's a what's his name, Joanami, I can't think of his name. He's in this as well. He plays Demon, and he's in Return of the Living Dead as well. 1985, a big year for crossovers, or not really crossover, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so yeah, I think there's a lot of I get that this one looks cheaper. The cinematography is probably the worst in the series on this one. The direction's probably the worst on this one. I will say all of that. But the score is still there for the most part. It's got some nice characters in there. I do like John Shepard is it John Shepard or Mark Shepard? Anyway, the Tommy Jarvis. I like that he was mute. He was still dealing with what had happened to him years before in part 4, and I like that about this version of Tommy. And I also like that he can kick some ass. That guy's like just punching him right in the arm, and he just flips him over and breaks a table. I thought that was hilarious. And then, I think watching it with new eyes, if I was new watching it, and this is the great thing about having kids, my son thought Tommy was the killer. Who the fuck is Roy? Nobody knew who Roy was. He shows up as an ambulance driver, and maybe he's just freaked out because he lifts the sheet and sees there's an arm on Joey's back and his back's all chopped up. Maybe that's why, that's all Roy saw. And then, Tommy could have been freaking out and doing the killing. Who knows? He's known to make the stuff. And in part 6, I swear he had to have made that mask, because Tommy can make that stuff. He's based off of Tom Savini essentially. And why would he have Jason's mask? And why is the chevron different? And there's a lot of questions about that mask in part 6. Where did it come from? I think he made it. And then Roy Burns' mask, it's the same model hockey mask, but the chevrons are different. So then we know it's not Jason. We do get to see Jason in a couple flashback scenes. I love all of the night crawlers and the worms in his eyes when they dig him up. That one scene they were able to get Corey Feldman for. Sean's got some comments here. I know, buddy. I'm just teasing you. Um, well, I mean, they didn't put much effort into these because they were like shitting them out once a year. you know, basically just cranking them out. And I feel like the turnaround on this one from part four was a little bit faster, and they took a little bit more time with part six. Uh, yeah, yeah, I can agree with that. What's up, Luke? How you doing, man? Share, hit the like button. But yeah, it's I don't know. There's things I don't like about it. Like I know there are characters pushed into the movie that are there to die. Like the two guys in the leather jackets with the one gets killed with a road flare in the mouth, and and the other one I think was just in the car and singing some song about kicking his buddy's ass. And it's funny in the well, yeah, part six is the best. And I don't have Seth here right now. Thank you. I love Batman v Superman. To tell me that it's not the best. Anyway, I I know like Lana and the it's Showtime scene, all that was just more kills for the gorehounds, for the people who love to see all the deaths, and all these movies are about body count, body count, body count, and they always push to try to get the most the biggest body count. I think there was something in this one. I think that the director wanted to get to 13, or somebody wanted to get to 13, or maybe that was part six, because they added in the two on the moped later on, kind of a reshoot. Um, yeah, I do too. I like that kill. Hey, you know what? That Sean Bright brings up something cool. What's your favorite kill in part five, if you wouldn't mind telling me? And I'll tell you mine. My favorite kill, let's see. I like Junior's kill quite a bit because I agree with Sean. Junior's annoying, and I just like that Roy just. That's another thing about Roy. He has apparently superhuman strength because he can break through a freaking door, and I don't know any human that can do that. But like, yeah, he just lobs his head off, and the guy who plays Junior got to keep the head, which is kind of cool. His own head. Ethel's was kind of bullshit because I think she was just drowning in her stew. I do like that they just twist that strap. I think it had to do something with horseback riding. You just kept twisting and twisting and twisting until like the girl he was having sex with kill. I don't quite understand. I guess it could kill her like that, but it's just like he just clipped her eyes. I don't know how deep into it he went, but we don't get to see the guy with the stutter die. I don't think. Violet's kill was kind of a cop out. We didn't get to see the cook, Reggie's grandfather's kill. So there are a lot of kills off screen, which is for a slasher movie. That's like, come on. Okay, so they died. We get it, but let's see it. Let's see them. Let's see him die. Here's a little theory. I have Roy was under control of Jason from the Jason worms. Interesting. The weird thing about this movie is somebody mentioned I posted something about and I want to know from you if if you would have liked to see this, but at the end of this movie you see Tommy with the mask on and a like butcher knife, or I think something like that, and he's it's like alluding that part six is going to come and Tommy's going to be the new killer, kind of like Corey Cunningham in Halloween Ends, which Nate from the Discourse show mentioned that, and I was like, this is different. Corey was added in at the end of a trilogy, and this was in the middle of a series that was actually going to lead on to another movie. If they made Corey the killer and we're going to make another Halloween movie, I think I would have been okay with that, rather than tacking on this character that we'd never heard about. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's too much of a rant. We'll talk about that when we do our Halloween End show in October, which I'm sure we'll do. But yeah, so I think that there are a lot of problems with this movie, and but I want to know if you would have liked to see Tommy as the killer in part 6, rather than, I love part 6 and what we got. I'm not saying disregard that. Just kind of like, you know, would you have been okay with that? I don't think many people. There are a lot of comments on our Facebook. I didn't get to read them all because I've been busy the last couple of days. Yeah, the thing I don't like about, so, and one guy said, well, Jason, it's always going to be Jason. Jason was alive. Well, in part 5, they said Jason was a pile of ash. They cremated him, which they retconned in the next movie. So, I mean, Jason could have come back, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, I don't think anybody would have liked it. It probably would have killed the series, which the series showed that it had a lot of steam left, because part 7, I like part 7. I love Jason Takes Manhattan. And then I'm not too big of a fan of Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X. I think Jason X might be my least favorite completely. And then I do like the 2009 film. The Freddy vs. Jason just keeps getting worse by the year, in my humble opinion. Anyway, Sean, do you like can you like the post on YouTube? I know you're watching. Can you just hit the like for me, please? I don't know if you do or not, but I'd like it. I'd love it. I'd love it if you would. I'd love it if you would. I think a lot of people do, Luke. I think a lot of people like Jason Goes to Hell better. I know Seth absolutely hates. And here's the thing. I don't get too hung, and I'm not saying anybody gets hung up on the details, like how to get to the river, or Crystal Lake is connected to the river or whatever, all that stuff. But I've always that was the one I had recorded. I had a tape that I recorded movies on, and I had Elm Street 5, Halloween 5, and Part 8, all the 3 big slashers from 1989 on the same tape. So I saw that one a lot. I just had fun with it. There's some great characters in there like Julius, and I really like Rennie personally. But I'll argue the same thing with Jason Goes to Hell. It's fun. There's a lot of fun. There were some great kills in that one. I mean, honestly, if you stack the movies with the best kills, Jason Goes to Hell has to be in the top 5, because it's the body melting scene when he switches bodies, the tent thing up the lady's torso is a good kill. There's a lot of them in that movie, and Jason Goes to Hell, I used to shit on it a lot, but I think I've come to terms with what it is, and it's almost like an Elseworlds tale, if you're familiar with DC Comics, where it doesn't take, in my timeline, it does not take place in the timeline with 2 through 8. So it's like a first movie, and they skip over to to the Jason Goes to Hell. But there's a lot of good fun in that movie. I like that Kane Hodder has a moment where he calls himself a pussy, essentially. Hi, Tita, or Ellen. Let's see, Sean. Jason X is one of the worst horror movies ever made. Have you seen Firestarter 2022? Because I'll argue that point, because I don't like Jason X, but Firestarter 2022 is terrible. I like the look, but I know y'all don't. But shit, I love the swollen mongoloid. Looks like he was in the water too long. Yeah, I don't really like the look. I never really did, but I mean, Jason Goes to Hell. One more question for you guys. I'm running out of steam already, because I've told my points of why I like this movie. What do you think of Roy Burns' look with the chevrons, the Michael Myers type, bodysuit? Not bodysuit. It's not like he's wearing a tight suit or anything like that. I mean, obviously we all like the red chevrons better, and this is a fresh mask, but I like it. I like the difference that we know this is not Jason. That's one of the things I like about this one. So, if you have any questions about this movie, I can try to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to probably, since Seth's not here, wrap this one up pretty fast, because I don't know if I could talk an hour on this movie. I love this movie. I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun, and plus demons in it. That great line. And I had my daughter. She had an enchilada and she switched the words out. But I got a video on my Facebook of her saying them darn enchiladas. It is really cute. So my kids love the Friday the 13th movies. Firestarter. I needed denim to go to hell because the motherfucker. I just got a Facebook message. Hold on. It's Seth. Oh. Anyway, yeah, I like it too. That's okay. Actually, I think his costume in this one is green. I saw your post about Texas Chainsaw 3D and didn't know that Alexandra Daddario, if that's how you pronounce it, was in it. Yeah, she's also in True Detective. The funny thing is that the reason I used the picture I used was because that is, and it says on the post, the top searched picture for the horrorsyndicate.com. Out of all the images we have on there, which are thousands, that's the one that gets the most views. I can see why. She's hot. She's beautiful. I she's not as young as she appears. So she's on, like, if I ever date anybody again, she's on my list of, yeah, right. Anyway, so Seth, yeah, I'm sure it is. Seth will not be joining me tonight, but I do have a score. Um, so as you all know who have been watching this, what we're doing is we're going to um, be doing, eventually we'll be doing a list show ranking all the Friday the 13th movies in order with our slash score, which is comprised of a uh, about 10 categories, to, like cinematography, acting, stuff like that. Kills are only for the horror movies, but I have a similar thing I do with all the other movies I watch, because I like to score things and rank them because I'm a turd. An idea for a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 versus the remake would be a fun debate. Yeah, I don't like the remake at all. Like, I really don't like it. I went into it and saw it at the theater opening night, which was kind of my first date with my not would be, eventual wife. And I remember I was sitting there, like, mumbling to myself how angry I was at that movie, because I felt like it was shitting all over a classic horror film that I really like. I love. That was one of those ones. I think I've told the story numerous times. My mom, when I was 5 or 6, I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 2 for the first time, and then immediately after Elm Street 1 was on, and she fell asleep watching them. She liked horror movies as well. And I was like, yeah, that was so much fun. Freddy had a cool glove, all this stuff. And she's like, oh, you like scary movies? You want to see some more? And she went out and rented Reanimator, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and what was the other one? There's another one. Anyway, Reanimator, it fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie, Reanimator messed my 6-year-old mind up. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre I actually really kind of enjoyed, and it was shortly after that the second movie came out. Yeah, Tita knew my mom. I think you're the only person that ever watches that knew my mom. Unfortunately, she was awesome. But yeah, so she showed me that, and I really, really enjoyed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then the second one came out shortly after that, after I saw it in '86, and I got to see that pretty fast too. And I just loved that one too because it was so wild and off the wall and fun. And my mom, and I think this is a theme for the '80s for kids in the '80s. We watched horror, we watched whatever the hell we wanted for the most part. If you had cable or my mom was 20, so in 1986 she would 87 she would have been 27, 28, so she was still pretty damn young. She's like, oh, just watch this, you'll be fine. Like, it was just like throwing me, into the lion's den, really. And I loved horror movies because of that. Obviously, I've kind of developed a career. It's a hobby for horror. I have to thank my mom. The remake is yeah, I know, man. I figured you were pretty young. um Thank you, Tia. She was pretty awesome. The only thing I really hate more than anything now, because it's been almost 20 years, is she's never going to meet my kids and they're never going to meet her. Last night, sorry, side story. I went upstairs to put my 9-year-old daughter to sleep, like a dog that's dying. No, uh, when I went to tell her good night and tuck her in and all that stuff, which I do every night. Uh, I found a picture of my mom, and if anybody knows what glamour shots are, it was a glamour shot. Those were just the barfiest looking photos of all time for anyone. You could be the prettiest woman on earth and get a glamour shot, and it's the worst looking thing ever. Anyway, I, she had that. I'm like, what's this doing in your bed? And she's like, well, you gave it to me. And I was like, well, I know. I'm like, well, why is it in your bed? She's like, because I was hugging it because I want to meet her. I'm like, you just break my heart, kid. Breaks my heart. Her mom and her grandmother are not here because they both passed away too young, and I feel for her. But anyway, for me, it was fun watching something I knew I wasn't supposed. Exactly, yeah. There were like I remember in this will take me back to 1993 maybe. I was this is when I was really getting into horror movies because I learned how to record movies off TV, and I remember Showtime was showing Basket Case 2 and Basket Case 3 back to back at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So I learned how to use the timer, and I set the timer to get that. But I didn't watch them. I waited until Basket Case 1 came out on cable, which was like a month later, so I could watch all three of them. But I also had to wait because I was like, I don't know what this is going to have in it. I don't know if it's going to be, like I don't know what the hell Basket Case is. And I waited till my mom went league bowling every Friday night, and I stayed home and one night watched all three Basket Case movies, and I'll never forget how I'm like, if you've ever seen Basket Case, you know how fucking ridiculous those movies are, and it's like I loved it. They're so stupid, but I love them. So yeah, like it was it was like I'll throw some more honesty out real fast. It was like HBO had the series Real Sex. I used to look in the TV guide to see when it would be on, and I would set my alarm on my phone or my watch, and I'd get up and watch Real Sex in my room because I had cable in my room at the time, and then go to sleep because I wanted to see boobs. I love boobs. I can't help it. All shapes and sizes. I haven't met a boob I didn't like, and that's for Virginia. She's still there. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. If anybody doesn't have any questions or any comments, I'll take anything. I could talk about anything. Obviously, I like to talk. I've been quiet all day. Actually, I got to meet up with my good friend. Um, yep, I've said I think like 4 or 5 times tonight, so pretty good shots. Loved Real Sex. They did like 20 of them, I think, maybe more. Yes, actually, that was another one on my list, the Red Shoe Diaries. I love. There were some good stories, good storytelling in there, and boobies. I love them. Um, that's the one thing I miss about dating, and even dating Sherry. It's like I miss her. I miss boobs. Just looking at them, playing with them. Can you say? Yesterday was the anniversary of that post about. So I hate soft tacos from Taco Bell. Um, I went to Taco Bell. I ordered two chalupas. That's my go-to, and the two chalupa meal. And I swear to God, I said two chalupa meal, which I think here, I don't know what it is everywhere else, is a number two, which I thought. So instead, apparently ordered two soft tacos. And I get home and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I went on this whole rant about soft tacos. I'm like, who the hell likes soft tacos anyway? I couldn't say like, what the soft tacos? What the fuck? Soft tacos? Who likes soft tacos? I hate soft tacos. They're bullshit. Now I like real tacos, made with real meat and everything. But these soft tacos from Taco Bell are bullshit. They are. Come on, give me a crunchy taco or give me a fucking chalupa or something. Anyway, I had Taco Bell last night and it was glorious. Loved it. Night dude. I'm very well. I'm very happy. Uh, Thank you. I hope you're well as well. Finally, something besides TSS going right. Oh, my life is going fantastic right now. Uh, Taco Bell will def give you a number two. It did. Totally. Yes, that's also why I don't order lettuce on my Taco Bell tacos. Fuck no, they get slimy. No, not a chalupa. I did not like that, Tita. Remember, I did a whole video. I'd love to share it with you guys, but I did a whole video on a trip to Taco Bell because my friend Tita says you need to try a chalupa with spicy ranch. And first of all, they charged me $1 to put spicy ranch on that chalupa. I'm like, what kind of a world do we live in? You know, where a man dressed as a bat gets all of my press. This town needs an enema. Anyway, and I tasted. I'm like, it's just okay. Like I had a last night. I had a cheesy gordita crunch, which are really delicious, and it had that ranch in there. It tasted good though in that. But I think the chalupa. I should do a whole show on food. I like food way too much. Lose 50 pounds, gain 30 more in like 2 months. Um, did you get the shit? No, yeah, damn enchiladas. No, they don't have enchiladas at Taco Bell, do they? Tita, I met a buddy of mine. You can troll me all you want. I know you love me, and I love you too. But I had a chuck wagon with my buddy Todd today. We had a little bit of a meeting, and it was I have to do the Chalupa show on my own personal channel. By the way, it's Rage of Razor. Anybody who wants to go over there and like the page on Facebook, we're ranking and rating superhero movies right now, and I'm going to do a show like this, trying to find people to be a part of that show. Anyway, I think I'm going to close it up for the night. Well, the thing is, if I do a chalupa show, I'm going to have to eat them live. And I had a chalupa last night with my cheesy gordita crunch, and it was glorious. Chef's kiss. This is why I probably should be live on my own because I do some dumbass shit. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate you liking the page. Invite your friends to Rage of Razor because I want to grow the page, grow the channel. Because you know me. I like comic book stuff probably more than I like fucking horror movies. Honestly, I fell into this after Elizabeth died and just kept going. And I love the Horror Syndicate. Yeah, Part 6 is my favorite of all the Jason movies. So even if I have to do it alone, I could talk about it for at least a half an hour because I love it, and I really do love this one. Are you the one who suggested the documentary? Probably because I watched it right around that time, and I love Val Kilmer. Yeah, thanks, Luke. Very supportive, and congratulations. I don't want to say we did, but I proud that you got that deal worked out. It's very awesome. Anyway, let's move on to slash scores so I can get out of here. I haven't eaten since I went to whatever Chuck Wagon. It was delicious, by the way. Post a picture on my Facebook. Can you do seriously? Do you want to come on and be my co-host on the Rage of Razor show? Talk about chalupas. We can eat them at the same time. How cool would that be? How cool would that be? You're welcome, Luke. Anyway, it's slash score time. As we've done in the past, we've done the slash scores with every one of the Friday the 13th movies, and it's good documentary. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, so we did the slash scores. We did Friday the 13th Part 1. It got a 50% between my score and Seth's score. Part 2 got a 63%. And Part 3 got a lower score mostly because of me at 52%. And then Friday the 13th Part 4 is at 80%, which more than likely will be tops because my score for Part 6 wasn't even this high. I think I'm tougher on movies than most people are when it comes to ranking. Like if I don't like the MCU Spider-Man movies, for instance, but if you're here, subscribe to the Horror Syndicate on YouTube. Check out Rage of Razor too, if you would. That'd be great. But anyway, so Seth's not here. I know he likes this movie, and I know that he actually repeats a line from this movie quite often. And it's, well, if that's the way you feel about it, fine. And that's Joey's line right before Vic puts an axe in his back. Seth gave it a 60% overall, which honestly is not bad at all. And my score isn't too far off. I gave it a 54%, and I'm very happy about that. Obviously, look at the picture. I gotta take that Horror Syndicate logo away because it's blocking the stuff. Anyway, I do want to do some Rage of Razors. Maybe I'll go live tonight and talk, try to get girls to flirt with me like I did back in March and see if they'll come over and sleep with me. Overall score for Friday the 13th, Part 5 is a 57% between the two of us. Obviously, you're not a golfer. Uh, obviously, I watched Big Lebowski last night, Tita, by the way, after all that back and forth about White Russians or whatever they're called now, um, Caucasians. So if we did a ranking show now, it would be the first movie would be last, then part three, part no, hold on, I backwards part that and then that. There we go. I'll get it down by the time we do the ranking show, which will be coming up in as soon as we get through all the movies. Yeah, as soon as we get through all the movies. Yes, I don't know what you said yes to, and I alone. Um, I am due for a viewing. Yeah, I watched it last night, and like the first, like I thought about you most of the time I was watching because I think that's one of your favorites, if not your favorite. But I think they were doing that. The VHS uh, actually, it's on my wall. Like you can't see it. It's right above Michael Myers' head actually. But I think they did that to throw people off because it's so different looking than what they use in the movie. First of all, and the masks we came accustomed to from the previous two movies. So it's yeah, I saw it. I'm like, that is an ugly fucking mask. And it's funny because I think that's kind of what the hockey masks were back then, like for actual hockey. And if you see a spoof or a mask killer with a hockey mask on in any other thing, they're wearing a mask like the one on the poster. Which I know I think it was 1031 Part 2, which is an independent anthology. I know somebody wears a mask like that. And I know I've seen Sleepaway Camp 2. I think somebody wears that, or Angela wears that mask. So it's just weird. And then I don't know. I also think this has the worst marketing for the movie. Like the posters are awful for this movie. There's one that's just if Jason still haunts your dreams, you're not alone, and there's like a red background. It's like really, and then there's that poster that I have on the on that. And then there's another poster where Tommy Jarvis is standing there holding. And the thing is, it's a different Tommy Jarvis. So you're just like, who the fuck is this guy? Holding a big ass curved machete. So I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. I didn't get to see the trailers back in the day. I know the trailers are on my box set, but I've never watched them because I'm not one of those people who likes to go back and watch trailers like that. So I don't understand it. This mask is fugly, like Facebook. But yeah, this mask, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Hold on, I gotta take this down. There's some comments I want to get to. Final Summer is an independent horror movie, I believe. Wasn't the kid from Different Strokes? He was in an episode of it, Reggie the Reckless, but I don't think he wasn't a full timer on Different Strokes. I know he was in at least one episode. Uh, his hair makes his head look huge. Roy's or Tommy? Part 5 is the Porky style funniest movie in the series. Jason Lives is definitely the funniest. I could see that. Jarvis pick. I think there's a lot like the first encounter with Junior Ethel is hilarious. Junior, will you shut the fuck up? She calls him a dildo. She tells him how ugly he is. I mean, it's really funny. And then that some of the scenes with Shepard as Tommy Jarvis are funny. Like the guy, like it's like it's a medium shot or whatever of Tommy Jarvis just kind of gazing, like looking at the guy, and the guy's just you can see his arm punching him in the shoulder. It's just for fun, guy, or something like that. And then Tommy Jarvis just flips him, and it's hilarious. I think um, he was. Yeah, that's true. Yep, that's exactly what it was. They actually show that in Crystal Lake Memories. Um, Junior, will you shut the fuck up? And then there's the drifter who comes out of nowhere. It's like, are we supposed to think he's a killer too? Anyway, anybody out there, please subscribe to us on YouTube. We are on YouTube. as well. There are some weird other videos that I've done in there. One video that I want to get back to doing is asking people on Facebook, like real comments, like asking, hey, what do you think of this? And then doing a video of reading their comments and reacting to them, because I had a lot of fun doing that. So I might bring that back. And then, yes, we are on Facebook. Final Summer, if I'm not mistaken, if you're still out there, I don't know what your name is, Tom Matthews is in that movie, right? And you filmed it in Illinois, which is not far from where I am, I think, because I saw it somewhere. I think he posted something, and I liked the page. If that's what it is, I think I'm right. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll just shut the fuck up and die. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up for the night. I appreciate everybody who came out and watched. Please check us out on Wednesday night as we are wrapping up 2022 finally in a bow and doing our top 25 of the 2022 horror cycle. And I've watched 58 movies because after Sherry and I broke up, that's what I did. And man, I got 2 more that I'm going to watch, and then I'm going to stop watching them for a while on the 2022 movies. But a lot of them are on Shudder. So if you want to binge watch a bunch of different horror movies, check out Shudder. I just watched. Hold on, let me pull up my list. Let me pull up my list real fast. I just watched. These are the ones I've watched in 2023. I was off for a lot of days. I've already watched 17 horror movies. But anyway, I just watched Crimes of the Future on Hulu, Day Shift on Netflix, Barbarian again because I love that movie. That's my number 1. We're all going to the World's Fair, which is on HBO Max. The Menu, which is on HBO Max, was good, really good. Slashback on Shudder, Scare Package 2, which was fun, on Shudder, The Long Night on Shudder, Werewolf Castle on Prime, Blood Relatives on Shudder, and A Wounded Fawn on Shudder. So there's a lot of them on Shudder. So if you're a horror fan and you're not on Shudder, I don't know what you're thinking, what you're doing with your life. All right, dude. Good night. Good night. That's somebody I need him to sign my copy of Crystal Lake Memories because I've got not everybody, but all the cast that I've met or they're signing it like it's a yearbook, my Crystal Lake Memories book, and which is funny because Larry Zerner, Shelley, he's actually the one who told me I should do that. So he's like, I'm just going to sign it like it's a yearbook. You should do that. I was like, that's a good idea. The only person that didn't sign it like a yearbook was Tom Savini, which I had him sign by the Crystal Lake sign on like the 3rd page or whatever. And all the Jasons are signing it in gold Sharpie, while the counselors and the people who die and whatever, they're signing it in silver. So I need to meet Tom Matthews sometime, so I can get him to sign my book. I've got Amy Steele, Adrian King, Larry Zerner, John Fury, Warrington Gillette, Steve Dash before he passed away, Kane Hodder, C.J. Graham, Tom Savini. I think that's it. I think there's more. I can't remember. But anyway, dude, Shudder's $5. Yes, The Menu is definitely worth watching. Rafe Fiennes, whatever his name is. I think it's Rafe, right? Anyway, excellent performance. He might have, and so we're going to do categories like Best Actor in a Horror Movie in 2022. And I know Nate chose him. I also chose him. And then for that role, he was really good in that movie. And if you haven't seen it, you're going to want a cheeseburger. I'm just going to say it. That's the only spoiler I'm going to give you. Yeah, I miss Ted White. He was at a con in 2019 in Charlotte. I'm in St. Louis, and I wanted to go see Ted White because I was like, man, he's like 93. He's not going to do many more of these. And then, of course, he passed away mid 2022 last year, which is a shame because I've heard nothing but great things about Ted White. Heard he's a delight to be around, a good guy, and really loves the fans. It's a shame that we lost him, but man, he was old. It happens. Just like, we lost Stan Lee a few years ago from the Marvel world, and he was old as shit. So he would have been 100 this year. Or, well, was it end of last year or early? I think it was the end of last year. I can't remember. Anyway, That's all I got for the night. All you people out there watching, if you have not subscribed to the Horror Syndicate, please do so. I really appreciate it. We're trying to build an audience so we can keep doing these shows and get as many people who are watching now, which is 11, which is a lot for us. Because on our weekly show on Wednesdays, we usually don't have very many people watching for some reason, and we're doing our top 25 of 2022. So please come back for that on Wednesday. We start at about 6:30 in the Central, uh, 4:30 on the West Coast, and 7:30. I know it's a weird time, but one of our guys works the night shift. So that's it. I'm gonna go now. 45 minutes. That's not too bad. I love talking to you guys. Check out Rage of Razor if you can. I don't have an image to put up because I don't. I have this. You can put up in the corner. Me. That's me. That's a youthful me from years ago. Anyway, I have one last thing I want to mention. Seth, I missed you, buddy. I hope you watch this. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Have a great yeah, okay. Love you, Razor, lesbian cooter burn. Okay. Um, wouldn't I have like a missing a spot? Anyway. Oh, look who's finally here. That's okay, man. We'll be back. Oh, Malignant. I like that movie. It's different. It's kind of wild. We'll be back next week with Jason Lives. So I know I believe you're out west. So we started at 8:30. So it was like 6:30. Still kind of like the afternoon. Um, thanks for being a part of Rage of Razor too. I really appreciate that. I've seen you pop up on some of the ratings. Check out Rage of Razor. We have a lot of fun over there. And the Horror Syndicate, we got a lot of shit going down. Check out thehorrorsyndicate.com. And once again, Friday the 13th, Part 5 is not as bad as you think. It's a 57% for us, which on a horror scale, that's not bad, considering the best one is 80%. According to Seth. Oh, I want to make sure that's clear. According to Seth, this is the best one. And then the original, yeah. Anyway, so there's a lot. People are coming in now. Should I just like sit here for 45 minutes and then wait until subscribe? Anything else before I go? Anybody got anything else before I go? Because I'm here. If you want to talk to me, because I don't have anything else going on tonight anyway. I'm gonna probably get something to eat because I haven't eaten since 1 my time. Yeah, Tommy's a good guy. From what I need to meet him too. I always wanted to meet him. I wish he would have directed more Friday the 13th. 576. Not sure what that is. 476. Are those your favorites? Your favorite 3? It's okay. I've got my trusty water bottle from my comic book company, Unparalleled Comics. If you guys like comics, I write a comic that's like a Batman character called Operation Eclipse. And right now, if you want digital copies, they're $1 on our website, unparalleledcomics.com. So check it out because comics are cool. I do all kinds of shit. Yeah, do what Steven did. List your top 3 in order. Mine would probably be 6. I think maybe 2. 6, 2, 4, maybe. I think he's coming to NJ HorrorCon. That's too far for me. I'm not going to New Jersey. But thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, Luke's read my comics. They are legit. Thank you. Top quality. Yeah, we've got some good stuff. Issue 5 of Operation Eclipse will be coming very soon. If you guys want, I can show you the Facebook page real fast. Like I said, I ain't got shit to do. My kids are, one of them's playing video games, the other one's, I don't know what she's doing. She's watching her tablet or something. But you can go like the page, which I would appreciate, and buy some comics. The digital copies are only $1, and you wouldn't have to wait for them to come in the mail. Here. I thought Yeah, here's the Facebook page for Operation Eclipse. Um, Swords and guns and all kinds of shit, capes and stuff. There's a variant cover. Nah, probably not. It'll be a later issue cover with Eclipse as the sword there. The other guy currently is called Powerhouse. And then there's the first few issues there. Issue 1, 2, and that's St. Louis. I live in St. Louis. 3 and 4. That's this is done by Nathan Thomas Milner from the Horror Syndicate Discourse show. So, yep. Anyway, yeah, Unparalleled Comics. Check it out or not. Either way, I'm gonna get going. I think because yeah, the Cardinal is cool. That's with Apogee Comics. Thank you for Crispin Glover alone. Yeah, we're gonna do a episode after Part 6, after Jason Lives, if everything goes according to plan, where me and Seth face off. He's going to defend the final chapter, and I'm going to defend Jason Lives, and then you guys are going to choose which one you like better of the two. Third favorite film, made my favorite film in the series, and Luke's. All right, I hate to leave you guys hanging because I know you like hanging out with me, but I'm gonna get moseying. Maybe I'll go live on Rage of Razor and talk about chalupas. Anyway, uh, subscribe, come back, and talk more horror. Um, and remember, Roy's out there, or is he? Anyway, have a great night. Watch some horror this weekend. I think I'm gonna go see Megan tomorrow. See what that's all about. And there's a new horror movie starring Christian Bale on Netflix, and I can't remember the title, but I'm gonna try to watch that as well. So have a great night. Subscribe to the Horror Syndicate. Like it on Facebook. Check out thehorrorsyndicate.com for some great articles, and bye.